This is the Messy Human Tarot, and I'm your host, Ruby. Thank you so much for joining me. Please like, comment, subscribe at any point you enjoy what you're watching. But also to just, like there's a disclaimer for a good reason. Like I'm not responsible for the choices you make. We are, with this thing that we like to call, I think we like to think we have free will, and I think to some extent we do, but we often do not, because we forget that we are responsible for the choices we ultimately always and will forever be making. And so, like, I may not be a counselor, financial guru, and all those things. And yes, maybe I am tapped into something, but that doesn't mean that I'm a replacement for important services out there. So I like to give that disclaimer out there, so you like, oh my god, I can just be aware there's scammers everywhere about. We're gonna do the cat tarot and the tarot of the divine, and these cards really, I felt really drawn to them because, so on and off I've been playing around with my cards, and I've been like contemplating life and things like that, and specifically the Tao of the Pooh and the art of not doing. And so some of the questions I come up with to the divine is like, well, or like if I like, it's kind of complicated, right? Like, it seems like that's like, well, that's easy, right? That should be easy to not do nothing, right? And often I struggle with just wanting to do nothing, but then go and do something. And that's just not helpful. You just end up drained and exhausted by the end of that. And so my question to the divine was, all right, according to you, with the Tao, with that lens, how would you support my understanding of manifestation? The answer to me was really insightful and helpful, that I wanted to help you guys out too. I would love to do a reading thing, but I'm the Messy Human Tarot. I like to keep things simple and easy, and especially, one of these days maybe I'll have time for it, but just be aware it's not that at all. I think what we could do though is that I could put in the box down below what I feel like is like a separation of things. If that comes out, like if I say like, oh, this actually feels like pile one, and I'll tell you where to go and click on it, and there we go. So if this is a pile, this is going to be pile one, and already I'm kind of sensing an interesting sense. Six of Swords. So let's see if something pops up. King of Cups. So if we're asking the divine, in terms of not doing a lot, how do we manifest Great Spirit? We also took out the Death card, which is really interesting because think about it here. Okay, so there's always forward movement with Six of Swords, but the thing I like about this is sometimes when I see Six of Swords, it does seem more like in darker, somber tones. This isn't really that dark, but there is, they are kind of going against a current, it seems like. There's a little boy in front, and then obviously a mother behind. So she's kind of carrying forth with her this inner child, and I think she's trying to propel herself against stream. And usually, according to Esther Hicks, if you think Abraham Hicks connected to her, they usually talk about like let's go downstream, just allow a flow to occur. So if you want a little more forward movement, just allow as much as best as you can to, maybe you don't have to put as much effort, just kind of allow things to happen. while, you know, embracing this inner child with you and kind of like see where things feel good and not forcing something. But I feel like there needs to be a death of something. Like you need to be willing to say goodbye. Like I feel like you constantly feel like you have to like uncover something. You have to go a layer deeper to the skin and bones of everything. Like you need to know every little detail that you could possibly figure out. And I don't really think that's really helpful for this. Like I don't think you need to do that. You don't need to be a manifestation guru to be able to manifestate good things. And then you have King of Cups, which is like coming into your emotional power. You know, like I don't think you like to feel too much. And people, I think, that struggle with manifesting stuff tend to struggle with deeper feelings sometimes. We also, too, have 9 of Coins. So we're going to go a little layer deeper, even though we shouldn't. So what I will say, though, because this is going to be in, so the 3 and then 2, so they're kind of like in the middle of things. I'll see if I can remember to take a picture of this. I'm gonna put 6 of Swands at the very bottom. So then, so this is my vibe. Okay, so with Death and 6 of Swords underneath that is 5 of Coins reversed, which I think is actually really telling and how far you've come and how willing you are to let go of outdated belief systems about money. Like I feel like you have done your utmost best to be receptive to goodness in your life. And then you have 9 of Coins under 6 of Swords and King of Cups. So this is like, so you, and they're right next to each other, right? The 5 of Coins and the 9 of Cups, which overemphasizes this incredible ability to have an abundance mindset. So I think Great Spirit's emphasizing, saying like, well, you know, yes, you want to know more about how to manifest, but you're actually doing the work. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing right now. We're very proud of you. Great Spirit, like super proud. And then right underneath that is 6 of Wands, which is saying like, you are on the path. You're on target. We're very pleased with what we're seeing. We're very happy with everything you're doing. So we're going to go to 10 minutes with this, so that way the other viewers know what's going on, so they can go to the next pile. But, you know, I'm sorry, like, you can go to the next pile and continue. But I think that I feel a sense of a separation coming here, which is interesting telling, because I had this weird sense of energy of a separation. And the Great Spirit is pointing my thought waves to something, saying like, we can choose the thoughts we have. We can either choose to focus on the monsters or the pain, the suffering we have occurred. But something they said to me, saying like, well, you know what? You have to almost act like you could be caught in a web, right? But you need to find something enjoyable at that moment about being stuck. Like, yeah, maybe you do feel stuck, but like, there's something great going on in your life right here, right now. What enjoyable thing that you have right now? So if anything, they're saying like, you know, while you're here in this space, find something that makes you feel good inside. You know, maybe even encourage yourself to take opportunities to do self-care. But again, though, what they're saying, I see diamonds. I see diamonds for some weird reason. Like that came in my brain like a ding, 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 sparkling. And you know, diamonds stereotypically are usually associated with marriage or commitment. So you're either going to get married or you're committing to yourself. You're committing to abundance mindset, or you're pooling resources from somewhere or someone. It doesn't have to be about marriage. I love when tarot readers think outside the box and include other thought waves about contracts. Because this could be a legal related thing. Like this could be a legal specific contract that is going to be beneficial for the most part. Page of Swords reverse. So which is really interesting. I'm feeling called to put it in the middle of 5 of Coins and 9 of Coins. This is going to be your last card. I think they want you to be more reflective and think about things and clear away things that need to be cleared away. So I'm going to move on to the next reading. Just going to start now, and I didn't take pictures, sorry. All right, pile 2. I can't believe there's a pile 2 going on. I'm going to keep a card from each, actually 2 decks. So you're not going to like this, but I'm keeping 6 of Wands, 6 of Swords, 666 for the next pile. So if you were from the previous pile, 666 is going to be your angel number that we're going to associate your pile with. So I want to do Cat Tarot next. I'm feeling very called to that. So let's think about that, like in terms of like, hey, like, Great Spirit, what more can we learn about manifestation regarding like with our Tao being our lens? I really want to know a little bit more. The previous pile got clear cutting things like near the tail end. So if you're having a continuation, you're saying like, hi, here I am. Definitely an emphasis on clear cutting of old things. They need to go. It's really interesting because it's so interesting, and because I feel like the temptation for you it's interesting, this version of the devil is a dog, right? But there's purple all around, and usually we associate purple with psychic abilities, but this could be kind of like the airwaves you choose to associate yourself with. Like you want to belong somewhere, and I think that you're choosing to belong. You're too tempted to belong somewhere. So you're saying pleasing things. You're trying to overly please people, and I feel like someone has mastery over you, control over you. Look, the dog has a leash, and he's begging maybe for attention, for resources. Like, I feel like I'm not worthy and deserving of resources, so I have to beg for it. But I think Great Spirit's not saying like that's no. We're not going there. We're not. You don't have what was it the Great Spirit was telling me this morning? They have been conveying to me that times we think we have to work hard for things, and they're saying they want to flip it and say like, well, why is it we believe that we have to gain things gradually over time? Why can't we just have it overnight and it just happen? All the good stuff we want just happen. And they're saying like, why do you think that's a rule? It's like a rule in your head. And I think that part of the devil is the dogs follow rules, right? Human law. And I think you're following some kind of made up manifestation rule that you think is correct or right. Like, oh, I have to like do this, I have to do that. And it's like they're saying like, ease up on that. You don't have to follow rules and laws. It just has to feel good and feel right to you. I think you feel like you're a little bit of a bird in a cage. That sense of mastery, like someone has power over you. And if you look at this cat has the resources. The bird doesn't. That's interesting. Yeah. But there's almost like the cat's like, hey, I'm going to give you a handout. But there's nothing in the handout. There's no handout. So I would caution you to avoid being too overly obedient or trickable. Be mindful of people tricking you. For some reason that's coming forward, which is really odd. Okay, Great Spirit. Can you support me in this tarot reading? You're definitely stretching yourself. You are stretched out. you are tapped. And it's really interesting because I think that you feel like you have to be on guard. You have to have yourself ready for the attack, which is interesting. I want to hesitate in making assumptions about this, who this person can be, what kind of type of living situation, because all kinds of people can experience this to many different degrees. Whether, I think if you are in a difficult situation, it's so important for us to be able to reach out and seek help. The World, which is nice. I'm so grateful for that. And the Page of Swords, which is interesting because that's the last deck had Page of Swords. I think you're moving out of something too. You're moving towards completion, being able to have a connection to the threads of destiny. And there's even to the Wheel of Fortune, like I'm feeling like your Wheel of Fortune is shifting and changing. All things change. We just don't always necessarily understand that change and what it may look like. And I hear the wheel is starting to creak, but you're opening up and becoming more receptive, and you're going to become the Empress card's coming forth to me, which I find quite lovely because and this was also too in the previous deck had a different version of the Six of Wands. It was the Six of Wands? Yeah, it was. Yeah, because the last reading is 666. And your signature card, your signature number, I think would be, I feel like, oh my God. Feels like similar energy, but a little different. Just a little different. Because the Empress card is, she manifests by simply existing and doing nothing. Like she lets things come to her. The World card is about completion and harmony within the self and outside world. So I think for you do need to become more comfortable within yourself and develop a sense of harmony from within to out. And you do seem like your mind is becoming open and expansive and curious about truth, but I still sense this timidity, timidity, I don't know words. But despite all of that, you're going to be successful. Both you and the previous reading, the outcome is the same. Success. And there's a manifestation thing they talk about, phrase, all that seeks you will arrive. It's going to happen. The outcome will be the same. It will arrive. I don't know how better really well describe it, but they often talk about how what you seek seeks you. Does that make sense? And we're gonna wrap this up. One more like the other reading. Yes. 9 of Cups, wish fulfillment. That's amazing. I love that. Yeah, we're gonna finish with that because I feel like any more than that is gonna be too much. But thank you, pile 2. We're gonna switch over to the next. I'm gonna save these 2 cards for you and then put it in the pictures So the whole thing. Pile 3. We're going to start in a little bit. Pile 3. Hi. So let's kind of figure out manifestation, right? We're trying to understand a little bit better about manifestation. Page of Pentacles. So let's go with this, right? Yeah. I feel like already in this reading is kind of interesting because I sense, like, let's get this over with. Let's move on. Like, come on, like just spit it out. Six of Pentacles. Okay. I think for pile 2, their signature angel number 69. And pile 1, 66. I'm already sensing 6 is the theme. And if you followed throughout... Okay. Some conflict here, right? Some passive aggressive behavior. Maybe even an unwillingness to start over. I think message here for Great Spirit is you could have everything you want, but let's just say that you have a habit. You have a habit of a couple of different things. Okay, you could manifest the whole world if you wanted to. But I sense a bit of stubbornness. I sense even a little bit lethargicness. I sense like you could start and you don't. And there is some inner conflict of self-sabotage as well. And I think you don't necessarily trust the Great Spirit at all. You're like, I know. No, I don't trust you at all. And this is problematic because you're basically then, what is available to you is basically toilet water. Because Great Spirit could filter that out. You could have the finest water. You could, I know that sounds kind of like, like, toilet water? Like, what are you talking about? Like, can you say it any nicer? And I'm like, toilet water. You know, I mean, you could have the best of the best clean water by going to the greatest source of all that is, and they'll filter it out for you. They will take care of you. But you're just like, no, don't touch me. No, don't touch me. And Grace Spirit's like, okay, you don't want me to touch you. I mean, I just want to give you this. No, don't touch me. Don't touch me. Mm-hmm. It's almost like you're treating this like, oh, there's gotta be a great secret. Great secret. I gotta solve it. I have to. But you don't have to work hard for you. Just play. Just enjoy life. Allow yourself to take it easy. I know I said in here that there's a habit of lethargicness, that maybe like a daydreamer a little bit. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's the other end of the extremes of like two ends of a thing, like a quality, because you're not allowing yourself to rest. You burn yourself out, that you're exhausted and you're kind of like in this weird fugue state. But if you have a habit of resting more frequently, you'll have more energy to have a healthy form of leisure and rest. And that's really what you need, is have a healthy form of rest. Excuse the noise. I live in a home with other people. Yeah, so this is my sense. The Great Spirit is asking you to trust a little bit more, take care of yourself a little bit more, be okay with playing a little bit more. Maybe kind of learn how to resolve that inner conflict and kind of avoid passive aggressive behaviors and conflict with other people as best as you can. Like learn coping skills or different ways of handling things as best as you can. I can't tell you how you can do that, but and have a healthy form of enjoyment of life. And you don't have to start a project for busyness. Say you can start a habit of self-care or leisure. I don't know. Whatever, it's up to you. I like this Three of Cups. Because how messy can you get with this? There's enjoyment. And it's my dog. He's a needy one. And this song popped in my head. He's a mean one, Mr. Grinch. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. And it's interesting because we're still on this card. I haven't even finished talking about this. And I'm wondering what people think of you. I don't sense a sense of like no offense, I'm not trying to be mean, but maybe develop a sense of reflection. Because is it that you think people are mean, or is it that a self-defense mechanism has led you to tell yourself you don't care, or you're being honest and you would rather people accept you for who you are and then say whatever you want, and then they should have known I was gonna be like this, like this is who I am, like I'm not gonna like tippy toe around them and try to protect their feelings. Like, what's going on here? Because behavior impacts our manifestation. What's it called? It's in Buddhism and even in Taoism. I'm not an expert on Taoism. I'm not an expert on anything. It could be messy and human at the same time. But integrity, there's this thing where you manage your words, right action, right language, but also to don't make promises you can't keep. Don't be like loose lips sink ships. I'm trying to get to this phrase that it's not popping up, but it's basically idle talk. Something about idle talk. Remember, it was in a manifestation book I was listening to, and I can't remember what the title was. It's like an audiobook. It's on YouTube. And I thought it was really interesting because I remember being really positively influenced by this talk about idle talk. Like, try to make sure you're aware of your language. Are you just blabbering, or are you just saying things that are hurtful? I just be aware of how you're communicating overall. Like, what are you saying out loud, and including to yourself? Because oftentimes what we manifest is in our personal narrations. Like, I'll give you an example. Like, idle talk could be construed as I have this awesome friend. She was talking about how amazing her life is, and sometimes my idle talk is talking about reality, going oh, this is how life is, and blah blah blah. And when she was talking about how amazing her life is, she wasn't being idle with her words. She's also to manifesting. She's fully in alignment, and oh my god, it feels great, by the way. Speaking of idle talk, get out of here, come on. You don't love me enough. If you love me, you would be out here. That's idle talk. That's tactics that we kind of learn, and we need to unlearn it. And my boy bear is not gonna unlearn it. But don't bite the hand. Don't bite the hand that feeds you. as best as you can, at least try not to. We're gonna wrap up pretty much. But just I feel like that's confirmation. Because idle talk leads to a karmic balancing of things. Like if you are talking about how unfair life is, you're focusing on that, you're gonna manifest it. So if anything, Great Spirit's saying, like, kind of shift your focus away and be aware of what you're saying, but be also too, like, it's okay to accept help and receive the goodness we are bringing you. I feel like that's gonna go in there for your thing. And for whatever reason, the universe is saying toilet water. Like they really want to emphasize careful of what you're taking in, but also to what you're putting out, because that's going to lead to something. I don't like Great Spirit saying, like, be mindful of how you're using idle talk during this tarot reading, but like overall, like, be careful. Balance, right? Balance. And we're at the end of the 3 readings, and so I'm going to wrap up a lot with the next deck. Ooh, the world card just popped up. This is where at 30 minutes, look around, actually more like 31, say 31, we're going to put in the time stamp for 31. Hi, we're going to do finishing chat. We're going to do the finishing chat. We had the World Cup. World Cup? Whoa! Whoa, 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 we won! Victory is ours, man! And it popped up again. That is crazy, man! And then this one, like, yeah, okay, you're exiting out from a lot of cool, rotten shit, right? You're having forward momentum, man. Yeah, you're gonna be receiving, but you're gonna think, wait, this is empty, right? This is empty. No, there's gonna be space to put something in there. Yeah. We're opening for space for receiving, so things can go in. You gotta get rid of shit though in order to have the space. But we're gonna finish up. This is finishing talks that they are like, they want me to. I was gonna do the other deck. Ooh, meow, hello, friend. Wow. It kind of feels like. Be aware of your most sacred relationship with the greatest of great sources, man. Again, forward movement. We got forward movement. You're gonna be shocked by it. You're gonna be like, what the? Wow. You're gonna be so shocked by it. You're like, wow. And your eyes are going to zoom right in. And what's going to happen is you're going to be gravitated to. But you know what? Be a cat. Cats don't chase. Humans go to cats. You can play, have fun, but let them come to you. Let it come to you. All right, so I'm going to end this before I go too far in, because I feel like I could, but I don't think I want to. I think we understand Great Spirit a little bit more, and I have a very needy dog out there who's been just the Hierophant. So remember that. Just connect to Source. And it'll help you manifest. It really, Great Source will help you manifest. I feel like for the end, we're going to end with 4-4, which is trusting the process. Trusting Great Spirit. And now I'm kind of like wrap up. Okay, so like wrap up. Which means I'm gonna jibber jabber for a little while. Yes, I saved 2 cards for the tail end for the finishing talk. I feel like it's important. But this is a quick update. So I'm not gonna be doing a ton of readings moving forward. A lot of it is sound control is hard, but also too, I'm taking care of a baby. I'm working 40 hours a week. I have a real life job. But also too, I'm busy manifesting right now. Been told by Great Spirit, like, get into the art of doing nothing. get into the art of allowing things, so I'm getting out of my own way. It's not that I don't want to stop doing the readings, is I just needed a break. And ultimately, in the long run, I'm probably only going to do readings when I feel inspired. I'm not making promises anymore about the channel. I'm not making promises about projects. I'm not making promises about taking up clients. I'm just not doing it anymore because it's not making me feel good. It's not that I'm going away. It's just that I'm not making it a priority. I'm making my well-being a priority, which is great for me. I wish you love and light to Lizzie's.